So I haven't made the video in a couple of weeks there now. Got a bit of advice, was told to take a little bit of a step back, let things kind of progress. As I understand, there was various organisations spreading the usual slander and shite and pulling strings all over Ireland. So rather than try and fight that, it was easier to just let it happen, being honest with you. Well, regarding all that stuff from Children's Group Link, and I know this is all convoluted because there's other issues regarding me ex and regarding Tussle and the county council, 2 members getting caught searching my mother's bedroom, which I'm not forgetting about. But I'm going to continue to just deal with the whole kind of Halligan situation, which I have a right to for my own personal issues, which I'd like to have investigated, but they won't. And I'm going to continue just with that for the time being, and not forgetting about kind of like the Carry On at Waterford Council and me ex and Carey, Dr. Anne Carey, and the solicitor who corrupted me case, who I'll be naming soon enough. But to get back to that whole Halligan situation is, and the way it is there now, the question now that needs to be asked basically is how much influence has the ex-mayor, ex-minister John Halligan got over the kind of like workings of what's going on in Waterford? That's really what it's boiling down to there now. Do you know what I mean? The cronyism and the political influence that has been wielded over the course of fucking decades to suppress certain information there now needs to be kind of really questioned, because that's what it is now. Like, how much pull has this person got in Waterford? We were aware about it because we're aware Waterford Gardaí are bending over backwards trying to assist him and his family. Let's be honest about it. Do you know what I mean? And so is David Cullinane after dragging Sinn Féin into it. I don't have an issue with Sinn Féin as a party. I have an issue with David Cullinane, and people think that I have an issue because he tried to send me wife friend request, which he did, which I showed, which my wife even said. But it's not just that. Do you know what I mean? Mr. Cullinane and Mr. Halligan have been scratching each other's back for many a year, being honest with you. And it was the same network which got John Halligan the most votes in Waterford, which got David Cullinane the most votes also in Waterford. Do you know what I mean? Because let's be honest about it, it's not his political fucking input or his charisma. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying not to curse there now, being honest with you. So apologies there. But let's be honest about it, like, he got his 30 pieces of silver, do you know what I mean, by supporting Mr. Halligan, and Mr. Halligan then pulled every string imaginable that assisted Mr. Cullinane being placed into the position that he's in today. There's certain things going on there. I'm sure some people will know about it there now. I'm sure kind of word is starting to kind of circulate around where the opportunity is going to be afforded to people over the course of that whole Children's Group Link stuff going on over like fucking multiple years, let's be honest about it. But the opportunity is going to come, and if you want to have your say, and if you want to fucking stand up and be counted, like, your chance is going to come. Do you know what I mean? Without any kind of political influence or anyone intimidating you or any kind of fucking character assassination, your chance is going to come. I'm not encouraging anyone to do anything. I'm not fucking saying do this or do that. It's up to yourself. But yeah, the chance is going to come up, and it's up to yourself, you know, realistically, to kind of step up to the plate if you want to. It's your own choice. And I'm not speaking directly to anyone. I know there'll be people seeing this that I've kind of spoken to or swapped messages or emails to, and they'll assume that I'm talking directly to them. I'm not. It's just several people, your stories are so similar, you'll probably think that I'm speaking directly to you. I'm not. I'm speaking like to several people, being honest with you. At the end of this video, I'm going to kind of speak to my wife, and I'm going to ask her some questions. And I just want to give a quick kind of insight into what's been going on and the harassment that myself and my wife has been receiving from this family. Do you know what I mean? Not just one or two of them, from this family. And it's easier to just speak to my wife, as I've been saying. And you can make your own minds up, basically, if what I'm saying is true or not. And I just want to talk about a subject there now. So today is Saturday, I think it's the 20th, I'm not really sure, but fucking a couple of days ago there, Wednesday, I was given information about a chap, and he was abused up in Children's Group Link. And basically the shit hit the fan. Basically, because obviously they're reading me messages and me emails and all this kind of stuff. I've spoken about all this in previous videos, that they're trying to gaslight me in. But later that night, the lights outside my apartment were all turned off, kind of like left in the dark, and a couple of days before that, then there was a camera broke that's facing my apartment, purposely broke, do you know what I mean? And then at 10 o'clock in the night we had some clown, this is all on the same day that I got this message, somebody throwing rocks up at our fucking wall out, trying to get me to come out, obviously. Now I don't have any fear about this, and I know it's because I'm aware they're trying to make me fucking sound paranoid and look paranoid. I'm not in the least bit paranoid. I'm not in the least bit concerned. I'm concerned about like how my wife and my daughter would be left if something was to happen. That concerns me. Do you know what I mean? But it shows you how desperate these people are. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not going to like say anyone's names now or anyone like that regarding any of that kind of stuff that was told to me in confidence regarding that stuff up in children's group link. But I'm going to point out some issues there, right? Certain people, right, trying to excuse their actions, right, up in children's group link. This is going back years, right? Multiple girls, right, all regarding the same person, right? Now, and obviously there's another issue with another person who's now not up in children's group link, do you know what I mean? Because he was asked to stay away from the place because he's interfering with fucking people up there, was giving the place a bad name. And they can dress that up whatever they want, and they can blame people for lying or looking for money all they want, because we all know it's fucking true. Do you know what I mean? And the whole kind, if nothing else, right, up there, right, even if you can just say, right, some of the relationships, let's just say some of the people were lying, right, let's just humour the other side, right, for a moment. Let's just say some of the girls were lying, right, and then some of the girls, right, were consensual, right, which is what apparently saying, because they're not fucking admitting it, obviously, right. Let's just say it's consensual, right. That's still a breach of code of ethics. So he should have been removed from the fucking like charity, should he not? But instead of removing him, now this is going back, I thought this was going back 25 years, I've said in previous videos. I've actually only found out there the other day, it's actually going back fucking nearly 36 years, something like that. But they were aware, right, of the pattern of this person, right? Let's just say it's consensual now, right? And we'll side with that, right? They're aware that there was a pattern, because he's admitting it's consensual. So there was a pattern there of him kind of having relationships with certain girls, right, that were kind of coming into the place as volunteers. It's unethical. He shouldn't be up there, right? The same people who knew about that promoted him. Do you know what I mean? The same people, they got promoted. Do you know what I mean? They tried to place this person only 3 or 4 years ago into politics. Now this is going back to the 90s. So they know about his behaviour through the 90s, through the 2000s, through the 2010s, and then they tried to stick him in fucking politics in the 2020s in an effort to create a smokescreen to cover up his actions. Like, that's grossly fucking unethical. Obviously you have the Gardaí there circling me apartment, you can probably hear him there every time I try and make a video. But it's these twits that are bending over backwards to assist the Halligans. Do you know why? Because they've been doing it for fucking years. They've been doing it since the 90s. They need to fucking continue what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? And the whole kind of legal situation which is going on at the moment there, do you know what I mean? That's a glorified attempt to push it through the courts to have a rule on. Because every couple of years another girl comes forward and she tries to have the case fucking like investigated. Let's be honest about it. And it becomes more risky for them. Do you know what I mean? Because there's only so many times you can cover this shit up. Let's be honest about it. And it's been covered up. It's clearly been covered up. The majority of people know like it's been covered up. Do you know what I mean? And I'm aware about all the slander about me and all the kind of like fucking sexual innuendo which is attached to me, trying to make it look like that I'm trying to use that as a way to excuse all the other stuff that's about me. Do you know what I mean? I'm not. I'd like to have the whole lot of it investigated. Most of all the fucking stuff about me, if I'm being honest with you. I'd like to have that investigated. You know what I mean? But no one, for some reason, they won't investigate that. All they want to do is like spread it around. Don't listen to him. Spread it around. Do you know what I mean? But I'll deal with all that at another time. At the moment, I just want to stick to the whole kind of Halligan situation, being honest with you. And I think Ray Halligan, let's be honest about it, it's on video. You see him there trying to fucking interfere with the case, doesn't he, trying to pass a tray. It's there, it's on camera. You can't get away from that. Do you know what I mean? But not only does it show that he somehow knew, right, what was out there happening, and then he was trying to pass a threat to someone and he somehow knew that someone was out there confiding in information, like, to me. Do you know what I mean? Because he was able to bring it up on the video. Nobody else fucking knew about it, but he knew. But he knew. And the reason he knew is because they were reading me messages, me emails. That's how they knew. And this is why And this is why he jumped into panic mode. Do you know what I mean? And approached me wife and my daughter in the car, and that's what the video kind of is referring to. And he's referring to the case which is ongoing. But if nothing else, it shows how Waterford Gardaí yet again bent over backwards to facilitate the Halligan family. And this is what's going on. This is what is going on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's long overdue that they were fucking held accountable. Do you know what I mean? Like, is that the measure of our system? Is that really the measure of our system? Do you know what I mean? How far can the cronyism and the fucking influential fucking abuse of political influence go? Do you know what I mean? And you have David Connan. Let's not forget about David Connan and his relationship with John Halligan. Always there to offer a fucking little bit of support to him. Because they do nothing but support each other. They do nothing but fucking fawn over each other. Do you know what I mean? Passing like compliments towards each other. They're basically fucking scratching each other's back. Do you know what I mean? And no one will call it out. People know about it. People know about everything I've been speaking about. People know about. That's no word of a lie. This is not something that I've just brought up. This was always going on. Ever before my issue, this was going on. Do you know what I mean? Nobody ever speaks about it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just I had that local hypocrite, Henry Halligan, and I could really go into fucking details about Henry Halligan. But again, most of Waterford knows about his actions as well, which were also covered up, and then covered up again, and then covered up again, and then covered up again. But this piece of shit interferes at my mother's funeral, trying to cover up his actions of like passing back private emails that I sent to a priest. He passed them back to David Connan, because in the private emails was also David Connan's friend request that he sent to my wife. And the Halligans always looking for fucking some kind of support or political fucking like cronyism, passed the private emails back to David Connan, and they deleted them from the priest. But the priest was a family friend, so I spoke to the priest afterwards, and he hadn't a clue what the fuck I was talking about. Do you know what I mean? Because the church secretary had printed them off and deleted them, and that church secretary was Henry Halligan. And I understand there now there's been people kind of like having to go into other churches because they won't go into the same church, because the Bishop Alphonsus Cullinan, protected Henry Halligan. And everyone knows what Henry Halligan done. Do you know what I mean? Including the Bishop. So now people like practicing Catholics like have to go into another fucking church. Do you know what I mean? Because the Catholic Church would rather side with political influence. Do you know what I mean? Than rather than hold this person accountable. 11 times I contacted that bishop. 11 times I contacted, no word of a lie, over these actions regarding my mother's funeral. And eventually then I said, I'm going to put all the emails up online for people to read. And that's when he answered me. And then I contacted the solicitor because I was going to take legal action and everything. But it turned out the solicitor that I spoke to was the same solicitor that represented John Halligan. And it was the same solicitor who represented who? Bishop Alphonsus. Do you know what I mean? So all of a sudden then Bishop Alphonsus contacts me, says he's going to look into it and all this kind of stuff. Just after 11 emails he ignored, and then he basically ignored me again after it. Basically covered for Henry Halligan. And this is the ongoing thing with Henry Halligan. He's been covered so many times in Waterford. And I know we all talk about other issues regarding other Halligans. Do you know what I mean? But like, let's not forget about fucking Henry Halligan, because I said it in previous videos, he's worse than fucking any of them. So I'm trying to be a little bit more concise, and trying to not use as much bad language. I am going to keep making me videos, and they're going to get more kind of like in depth as I go. I'm not forgetting about my ex, or fucking the corruption within Tussla or Waterford Council, and Roisin Doherty getting cost searching me mothers with Leo Kennedy. And you can get your cronies from Waterford Council to come down and park beside my apartment all you fucking want. Do you know what I mean? Because this will eventually come out. It's as simple as that. It's always going to come out. And as I said, there's an opportunity now going to come up very soon. And I'm sure it's probably starting to leak out there now anyway, where the kind of, I'm trying to choose my words here, but there's an opportunity going to be presented to the victims of children's group linked to have their say once and for all, without any kind of political influence, without any Garda influence, without any kind of so-called fucking threats or anything. And it's up to yourselves what you want to do after that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm probably going to leave it there now. And at the end of this, obviously, I'll just attach me speaking to my wife for a few minutes at the end of this video. And as I said, the opportunity is going to come up. It's up to yourselves if you want to kind of take that opportunity. It's entirely up to yourselves. I'm not encouraging one way or the other, being honest with you, but it's up to yourselves. But there comes a time when you have to stand up for yourself, and that's all I'm doing, is I'm standing up for myself and standing up for my family. Something that I wanted to say that I forgot just on the video there, when I was speaking about the pattern. You have a pattern of that person, right, on children's grouping, but it's not just his pattern of his fucking carry on, let's just put it that way, but you have the pattern of the people covering for him. Do you know what I mean? So there's clearly a pattern going on, whether it's consensual or not, the people are still covering for him. So why are those people still employed up there? Why are they still draining fucking like pensions and all this? Do you know what I mean? Like, these are basic kind of code of conduct, code of ethics. Alright, so I don't really know where to start with this. You okay to do this?
Yeah.
I suppose, first of all, have I asked you to lie or anything, or embellish the truth, like, ever?
No.
Do you think I'd ask you to lie or embellish the truth regarding any of this or anything? Like?
No.
Are you okay to do this? You doing it your own free will?
Yeah.
Alright. First of all, I suppose we want to talk about, like, have we been harassed by someone above us?
Yeah, and it has been since they first moved in, because we moved in, we'll be here 5 years in December, and I think he moved in just only a couple of months after us, but it's been like that since he moved in.
Yeah. Regarding kind of my ex, which I know kind of we both have stuff to say, that we'll talk about that another date.
Yeah.
If that's okay, because I know there's a lot of kind of toxic stuff regarding her behaviour throughout the years, and kind of her actions being covered up. Will you okay to speak with that kind of another time? We'll keep this about the whole kind of Halligan situation.
Yeah, okay.
You were present another day out in Ballybeg Church when we went out there, and Henry Halligan ran over, and he tried to prevent me speaking to the priest out there.
Yeah, we were there. I think this was about maybe 3 or 4 years ago. We were attending a funeral out in Ballybeg, and we went into the church just before, obviously, the funeral was about to begin, and he kind of cornered you in the church because you were trying to speak to, I don't know if it was the priest or the bishop,
the priest,
and you were trying to discuss all this kind of with him, and he was, making excuses, because I was standing beside you, and he was making excuses, saying, oh, he's the priest, that he's very forgetful, and he was trying to
basically don't bring up the emails that I had sent him privately.
Yeah, he didn't want you to speak to the priest, and he was just making excuses, saying anything and everything to kind of block you off from talking to him. And obviously, because like I said, we were at a funeral, so that wasn't a time or a place to bring that situation up. But he did, and he done it before the church, or before the mass, and then after the mass he done it again. Just like I said, just to block you off from speaking to the priest. But he made sure that you weren't going to get in contact with the priest at all. So.
And was that person Henry Halligan?
Yeah, it was.
And was it out Ballybeg Church?
Yeah.
And obviously I had sent him the private emails, and in the emails I also enclosed kind of the friend request which came to you from David Conlan. Remember we spoke about this before?
Yeah.
Is that not true or false?
Oh, that's very true. That is very true. Like I emphasized it in the last video, look, it's a strange situation, but like to have someone in power in politics, and I kind of touched on it last time, but the whole fake pornography, I can't emphasize enough how toxic and bad and how hard it was on me at the time, because it was very dangerous. It was putting me in very dangerous situations publicly regarding other men that heard about this porn or whatever that was going around. And that highlighted it for me at the time, because like I didn't know who David Conlan was, and the fact that like it was literally just that day that you were in contact with him about all this pornography, because like this was at the height of it. We were living in Barrack Street at the time. I was getting like harassed by like all these people. The guards didn't want to do anything about it. I went to the guards about it. They didn't want to do anything about it. I didn't have proof. I didn't have this. I didn't have that, because I didn't know these fellas that were harassing me at the time. And this was just at the peak of it. And I, reaching out, because at the end of the day, it's something uncomfortable to talk about. It's embarrassing. I know there's a lot of shame around it as well. And like you're trying to like express like, this isn't me, this isn't like, they're like, this is wrong, and people just kind of fob you off about it. So the fact that David Conlan not only said, I don't want to help you, it isn't my place, and then that night he's sending me friend requests, it's disgusting.
And then when I tried to kind of expose all this, do you remember I put up a video? There was 89 views on the video, and that views, they had a meeting down the Tower Hotel, a kind of fundraiser for Sinn Féin, and it jumped up to 14,000 views. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And not only that, then we were nearly rammed off a cliff road in a car, myself, her daughter, and yourself. Do you remember that?
Tess was only 3 months old at the time.
Yeah. And there's been like basically an ongoing kind of like push by members of Sinn Féin. It's not all members of Sinn Féin, but there are certain groups within Sinn Féin, certain people, within Sinn Féin that are getting their actions covered.
Yep.
So I just want to go back there now, kind of the whole kind of Halligan situation, right? Just want to jump forward, unfortunately, and talk about when the father got sick, how we were followed back and forth to the hospital by a Suzuki Jeep, which turned out to be John Halligan, and the gold Peugeot, I don't know what kind of car it is, but that turned out to be Ray Halligan. Is that true or is that false?
Yeah, my dad passed in January 23, and just before he passed, my dad was out in the hospice in Waterford, and so, obviously getting back and forth to the hospital, and they were literally nearly every single time I was going out to either visit my dad or leaving the hospice, and they were there following us.
Yeah, and did Henry Halligan turn up at his mum's mind in the church?
Yes, he did, yeah. And then his sister, Mary Halligan, attended the mass for my dad's birthday. We had a birthday mass for him in August, and she was there.
That's August 2023?
Yes, August 2023.
Do you remember me contacting the bishop and trying to have this kind of looked into regarding Henry Halligan? And he tried to alter my mother's funeral arrangements, and the bishop ignored me 11 times.
Yeah, I do remember that.
That's true?
Yeah, that's true.
And when I started speaking about that, girls started approaching me regarding other stuff, regarding themselves, that was kind of covered up regarding the whole children's grouping stuff. Isn't this true?
Yeah, that's true.
They contacted me though, I didn't contact them.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to talk about, do you remember Ray Halligan when he approached the car there? I was after getting the messages that we just spoke about from the young one.
Yeah.
And she sent me messages which was very kind of incriminating, let's just say that, on certain members of the children's group. Sorry. And Ray Halligan the next day approached myself, my wife, and my car. And that true?
Yeah, if I can speak on that. That was in March of last year. There was me, you, Tess, and my mum in the car, and we were going up to the post office up in Barrett Street, and that's where my mum was going. So my mum left the car and went to the post office, and we were waiting in the car, and he drives in, swerves in, parks his car, and starts roaring, shouting, making threats. So I said to John, video it, because he was being very, very irate, and he was shouting, going back and forth to our car, shouting, and you can see in the video yourself, he tried to open the car door. So, that's very scary. We had our daughter in the car. She was only 6 months old, and like I said, you can see it in the video for yourself. Then after that, we went to the guard station straight away to report it, and we were speaking to a vanguard, and she wanted to take a statement right then and there, but because we had our daughter and my mum in the car at the time, we asked could we come back later that day, because we definitely wanted to get a statement going and report her, and she reluctantly agreed. So we came back, and like I said, it was the same vanguard that we were reporting it to, and she wanted us to take a statement separately. So I went in first, and I was explaining to her what happened. She then started saying, oh, what is all this over? And I just briefly touched on the issue regarding children's group link, and then John's mother's funeral as well, and that's actually what kind of kicked it off. And at this time, I was saying it to you, a couple of weeks before that, I was bringing my daughter to the park, and this Ray Halligan fella was always in the park as well, and when I was walking with my daughter, he was trying to overstep me off the footpath and stuff like that. So I was saying all this to her, and she started kind of thinking, and oh well, maybe it's your husband that's starting this. And I was like, no. I said, he's not. I said, this isn't a tit for tat. I said, at this stage, like, he's just harassing us and he's bullying us, and I don't appreciate that when I have my daughter and I'm trying to bring her out. I want to feel safe, and I don't feel safe. And she started twisting it, and you could just tell, like, she must be, I don't know, she must know the family or something very well, because she was trying to make it out that, maybe just keep quiet about it. And she didn't take a statement. She didn't want to take a statement off me. She said that she might be in contact with me to take a statement. And I thought I was getting my statement done then and there, but when she heard who it was and who his brother is, as you know, and his brother is the mayor, well, the ex-mayor, so she just didn't want to take a statement, and she closed up her notebook and said, I might be in contact with you. That was it. I went out, I took my daughter, and I waited for John to finish off taking his statement.
Sorry, I was going to talk about one last thing. Do you remember in 2016, it was arranged by Simon Harris, who was the Minister of Health at the time. I was supposed to go up and give a statement regarding kind of certain issues in Waterford.
Yeah.
And as soon as I mentioned David Conlan, he wouldn't let me kind of give the statement.
Like, we were trying to make a statement regarding we were trying to make a statement regarding the Baha'i, and he brought us both in to take a statement together. We started bringing up the religion and the harassment and all that, and he was very aggressive and very shutting us down, and he was saying, oh, it's not the Baha'i, it's called the Baha'ia. Like, like, that was weird. For a religion that I never heard of, he was very sure on what way it was pronounced, and he knew a lot about the religion. So we just kind of had enough, and he was, what was he saying? He started refusing to take statements, and he was like, I'm not taking statements about this, and kind of, get out of here. And then I left, and he shut the doors that you leave. Yeah. So I was on my own out there, and he had John, and I was slamming on the doors. I was like, get him out. Do you remember that?
Yeah, he buzzed you out. It was a buzzer that you buzzed somebody out, because on the inside, and he left her go out. And when I was walking out there, and he kicked my ankle.
Yeah.
And kind of made me kind of stumble, and he slammed me against the jamb of the door. And he asked, there's other guards there, asked basically would they come down, that I was resisting, and they all turned their back on me. Is that what happened?
Yeah, and that's all true. And there was, when I was out, like I said, I was out on my own, and there's like a Garda reception there, and there was a band Garda there, and I was like, what are you going to do? Like, will you let him go? He didn't even do anything wrong. And she just turned and she walked away.
Yeah, I suppose we talk about you okay to talk about other stuff another time?
Yeah, I will. I don't know if I explain myself properly, but yeah, all that is true. There's so much as well you're trying to get out in one video, but I will talk about more.
Yeah, I just want to touch on one last thing there. That whole house on Barry Street that we were kind of manipulating to sign it back. Is that true? Did we lose our possessions, our furniture, our clothes?
Oh, we lost everything. We were homeless for 3 years.
And we were given a reference which is still available by Joe Daniels, which we found out is now an illegal document that he should never gave it. Is that true?
Oh, that is 100% true. That's all true. Like, as crazy as it sounds, that's what happened.
Would you say that Waterford Gardaí are purposely driving around their apartment, turning their sirens on every time they pass?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, that is true also.
Do you want to add anything else?
I don't know what else to talk about. I don't know what else to add. But yeah, that's all true. It's scary trying to go to the park and stuff with my daughter and things like that, and you don't know if something's going to happen. But look,
We leave
Yeah,
it there,
she's-
Lanny, alright? Try
Yeah.
this down, alright? Thanks for that.
Okay.
Alright, thanks.